time. Time is more important than price. This is a statement that has been so overused that it doesn't really have a meaning anymore. But that's a good thing because now nobody knows what it means except the very few. And there's a lot of charlatans on social media, all over, on YouTube, on Twitter, and X, Telegram, whatever. There is a plethora of charlatans, frauds, scammers who claim to hold some sort of secret knowledge about time. And in case you were doubting, not a single one of them knows what they're talking about. They have no idea what they're talking about. Right? They're frauds, they're charlatans. Nobody knows what time actually means anymore. Right? I will teach you in CU exactly what it means. But this is the only place on the entire internet where you can learn reliably what time actually means and the importance of time, actually. Right? It's going to be over here in CU, in CSS, in the book, in the private events, only inside the bounds of CU. And of course, whatever public information I have already released. Right? But here's a simple example of why time is more important than price. Now let's use, I'll be using, I'd like to use real example of you guys, but this is a monologue, so perhaps in the in-person events and the FAQs, right? But let's say there's two traders. There's trader A and there is trader B, right? So there's trader A and there is trader B. Right? Trader A buys this chart over here at this price level, right? Trader B buys this chart over here at the same price level. However, Trader A entered and made money, and Trader B entered at the same exact price level, and he lost he lost money instantly, right? So both traders entered at the same price, but the difference was the time of entry, and that was the difference between making money and losing money, right? So this is something you should always keep in mind, and this applies in all time frames. This could be a weekly chart, this could be a daily chart, this could be a monthly chart. This, folks, this, ladies and gentlemen, this is the importance of time. Now, one more thing is the idea of trend and range. The charts are moving, and we have previous schools of thought like ICT who have mentioned consolidation, retracement, and whatever, but that's too ambiguous. The correct way to think about this is as follows. The charts move in a trend, a range, and then a trend, and then a range, and then a turtle soup, and then a trend, and then a range, and then a turtle soup, and then a trend, and so on, right? Range, turtle soup, trend. Range, turtle soup, trend. Range, SMT, trend. Range, trend, and so on. It's a range, and then a trend, and then a range, turtle soup, and then a trend, and then a trend, and then a range, turtle soup, and then a trend, and so on. Range, trend. So the way I want you to view the charts is in the through the lens of ranges and trends, and ranges and trends. We're either ranging or we're trending. Try to avoid entering while it's ranging. Enter at or after, right after turtle soup, and then enjoy profiting off the trend. Once again, I repeat for those of you who need repetition. Avoid, first of all, think of the charts in terms of ranges and turtle soups and trends, and that's it. And an SMT is part of turtle soup, obviously, right? Because the asset class that SMT'd, the other one turtle souped, right? So range, turtle soup, trend, range, turtle soup, trend, and so on. Right? That's the way I want you to think about trading and the charts. Right? So it always has to fit into the concept of range, turtle soup, trend. That's one thing. The other thing is avoid consolidations, the range phase. Enter at the end of the range phase, which can usually, very often, be timed, which will be taught in video library number 2. Enter at the end of the consolidation, turtle soup, and then profit off of the trend, right? Right, as you can see, range, trend, range, trend, range, trend, range over here, turtle soup, trend, range over there, turtle soup, another range, and a trend, and then a range, turtle soup, and a trend, range, turtle soup, and a trend, and so on. And this is how life works in the markets, right? So I really want you to, at least those who are taking this seriously, right? Because the fee to be part of CU is nothing. It's like peanuts. It's for most people, it's a stop loss, right? But I really want to weed out the dedicated ones amongst you, those who are going to listen to every single letter and word I say. Those are usually the ones who become the best, right? Those are usually the ones who advance and prevail and become the best. Excuse me. Right? And you'll have time to take things seriously in the upcoming months in CSS, in the book, in the private chat, and we'll see. 2026 looks like it's shaping to be an excellent year. Now, you're going to develop an X-ray vision of the charts by the end of CU. If you don't see an instant result at once, and there's always going to be there's always that small group of people who complain and just want it all at once. No, I'm not going to take instructions from you how to teach. I have trained tens of thousands of successful traders along the years. I know exactly how to take you from a nobody to a successful trader, whether that's by consistent results in form of income per month, potentially, or whether it's in the form of reaching a very high net worth. I have trained tens of thousands of people from all walks of life doctors and lawyers and engineers and CEOs and business owners and college dropouts and college students, high school graduates, middle school. I've trained any kind of person any kind of person you can imagine. I've trained and made successful, right? So I know exactly how to train you into being somebody, right? And of course, with every that's something that happened to me as a teacher is the more people I taught, the more efficient it was for me to realize how to teach even better. Meaning, person number 10,000 or student number 10,000 is going to learn a lot faster and a lot more efficiently than student number one, right? So that's your advantage. You are the latest batch in CU. You are learning the best methods in the best possible way. And that's the advantage of joining the new courses, right? This common question is why should we join every course you put out, every book, whatever? Because the newer students learn better and faster, right? Because the methods don't change, obviously, but my techniques as a teacher, as a creator of monsters, of successful, profitable traders, definitely becomes more efficient, right? Now, you have to develop an X-ray vision of the charts, meaning you look at the charts from a multi-dimensional perspective, from the higher time frame candle shape, and by looking at this higher time frame candle shape, I want you to be able to imagine, or at least have a strong idea that about the shape of the lower time frame price action, right? So this candle is let's say, for example, it's a weekly candle, right? This is going to be the weekly open, and this is going to be the weekly close, and this is going to be the open, low, high, and close, which is an up close candle, which is this right here, right? And this is the X-ray vision I want you to develop from watching these lectures and being partaking in all parts of CU. That's one more thing I received a lot of questions in the email is, do you recommend I join the CSS and the book and whatever? Make sure to absorb every single piece of information you can. Get the books, if you can get into CSS, right? Details about that will come in January. But make sure to partake as much as you can in everything you can in CU. All of it. Right? You're now within the closed bounds of this private group. Make sure to take as much advantage as possible. Forget everyone else. Just imagine it was only you in the group alone. Imagine you're the only person inside CU. That's how I want you to deal with it, right? Imagine that I'm only teaching you, because really, the reality is that no one else matters. Nobody matters. It's only you and me, the mentor. We two are the only person that matter in the equation of making you, turning you into a successful trader. Nobody else. None of your colleagues, none of your fellow members, nobody's going to help you. Nobody can help you. The way this works is I give you the information. I teach you the information. You go and you apply the information in your charts, and you do this and that and the other, and you go and practice, and you put in the chart time, and you put your money at risk if you want to, and you learn, and you become rich. Right? It's a two-person deal. Me and you. Nobody else matters. Not my followers, not my subscribers, not the fellow CU students. Nobody matters. Now, are you an emotional person. Emotions in trading are very important. Controlling the emotions is very important. You have to learn to disconnect yourself from the money. Completely detach yourself from the money aspect of trading, and that seems difficult, especially if you're trading out of necessity. Then it becomes almost impossible. But the reality is that the less you care, the more likely you are to make money trading. The less you need the money, the more likely you will make more money, right? The more emotional you are, and it's okay if you are an emotional person outside of trading. Excuse me. I'm not saying become an absolute psychopath. I'm saying have emotions. Emotions are a good. They're part of you. They're a part of being a human being. But try and limit and keep your emotions out of your trading as much as possible. Emotions are a killer in trading. If you tie your state of happiness to whether you're winning or losing, then you will be forever sad and depressed because losses are guaranteed in this game. And that is part of letting emotion take over your trading. The most robotic, least emotional person amongst you will be the best trader. If all other things obviously are equal, like the chart time and the practice and whatever, right? Right? News. News doesn't matter. High impact news, and this is another topic of debate. High impact news doesn't really matter beyond a little bit of extra caution, because on the lower time frame you're gonna have strange, unpredictable, abnormally volatile price action. That's all that it matters, because everything is in the charts. If you never know that the news exists, like if you completely disregard the existence of the news and you focus solely on the charts and the candles and the emotions of the traders, then you will be very successful in knowing where price. In fact, even more successful than someone who's distracted by 10,000 news reports, right? And this takes me back to the emotional part of trading. Emotions and trading based on emotions is a very advanced skill which will be discussed in the future inside CU. Both in the normal CU and in CSS and the book and the in-person events especially. Right? Trading based, and also in the video library number 2. Trading based off of emotions is one of the most niche, highest level ways of trading that there is, and it's not very used. As I'm saying it, you're probably like wondering, what the fuck is he talking about, right? Which is exactly how it should be. But to start off, I want you to go and mark your emotions during your trades, because they will be what you will trade against in the future as a profitable trader, right? So your profitable self will trade and fade the emotions of your non-profitable self, right? I hope you found that insightful. I wish you all good luck, good trading, and see you in lesson 9.